Well, got this one done. 3 whole days. Yesterday, you'll remember I was telling you he called yesterday after 2 days. I didn't know if it was ready yet. The belt came in and all that. But it's done today. Of course, he can't pick it up till Monday. Of course. And let's see, what else is there? Oh, so I still got the Craftsman. I'm waiting on parts of that. That's going to take a little longer because I ordered a Stens deck belt, and they just take longer to ship for some reason. And then we got this weed eater. That carburetor's coming from China, so that's just going to take time. Still waiting on the lady to pick this one up. It's been here a couple months now. And then we got a chainsaw. I want to cover his name. He wrote his name on it. And I tell you, this guy is one of the more well, their name goes back to the founding of the town. And I don't know what to say to these guys. They're good customers, and I don't want to say anything bad about them. I mean, but they always give me equipment that runs, and then they're saying it doesn't run. I suspect they don't know how to start them is the problem. The 2 cycles. So, I mean, all I got to do on that, I started it. Well, actually, I flooded it. So I'll start it again tomorrow. But started every time other than that time I flooded it. I took spark plug out and realized I flooded it. So maybe that's what he's doing. I don't know. It doesn't tell you how many times to pull it with the choke. So I probably pulled it too much. There's not a lot going on. I got a mower that I need to pick up Monday morning. And that's it. But, you know, the business keeps kind of just, stuff just trickles in. I guess that's okay. I'm trying to understand what I want out of this business. And I really don't have the answer. I mean, of course, I would like to be busy. And then when I think about it, I'm like, well, if I was busy, I'd be stressed all the time. And I don't want the stress. You know, this is just supposed to make a little extra money. Yeah, I find it interesting that people want to tell me how to behave. That if you're going to do something, you have to behave a specific way. And I don't see it that way. Not that now that I live off grid and I'm just my own person, I don't see why I have to cater to bad behavior. I don't think it's right. I don't know, day before yesterday, I was complaining about some customer. I can't even remember what it was about now. What was that about? Oh, I guess no, it wasn't getting cussed at. Wasn't that one. Anyway, I was complaining. Oh, I know what it was, about people not keeping their schedules. Which reminds me, that poodling that came in, and I'll get to the commenter in a minute. That poodling that came in at Riding Mower, you know, he said he'd be down on Friday, and he never showed up. Then, I don't know, Monday or Tuesday he showed up just out of the blue, and then he said he would pick it up Wednesday, and he didn't show up Wednesday. And then he said he'd be here Friday. Well, today's Friday, and he said he'd be here at noon, but it was 9 when he showed up. So the concern I have is if I'm not here because I'm doing pickup and deliveries, which he was aware of, what if I'm not here? Is he just going to sit around and wait? And the thing about him is it was a long drive. So I was explaining this to the audience, to the viewers, and I got a comment that basically said, if you want to be in business, you have to learn how to deal with this. And I personally think that's nonsense. I don't have to deal with bad behavior. I mean, think about this. I'm supposed to figure out what this guy intends to do about picking up his lawnmower. I have to figure that out. No, I don't see it that way. Maybe if you want to be some sort of, you know, over-popular guy and you're taking in every piece of garbage that comes into the place, I guess so. But you would also hire a a person who would deal with all that. You would have a company. I'm just an individual. And if people can't see that, hey, you know what? He's a guy just working on lawnmowers. I mean, like yesterday, you know, I was working on that zero turn, and he was messaging every 2 seconds. I was trying to unload a mower so I could literally get back to his. I was working on it, but I had to go enter, you know, I had to stop that to go pick up a mower. Went and picked it up. I was trying to get it unloaded. So in case something else happened, I still had the truck available. And then I was going to get right back on his, but every 5 seconds he was texting me, and I would have to stop, take pictures, text back. If he'd have just let me do my job, I could have had the whole thing done. I could have gotten it. And I even told him, I said, I promised that I was going to text you, you know, as soon as I was done with everything. But he just had to text and so, but if you come here, you're going to know that I'm just an independent guy trying to do some work. And I'm learning through research that sometimes you have to teach your community what your expectations are as a business owner. You know, you put out guidelines. Everybody tells me, well, you need to write this on your invoice, and you need to write this on your quote, and you need to do this and advertise. And by the time you're doing that, you're a lawyer. And you got all this fine print. And I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to have all this fine print. 10 days. You don't like 10 days? Don't bring your stuff. So why do I have to change my behavior? No, no, no. I understand that you are special and you want it done in 2 days. Nope. If you don't want to bring it here and you can find somebody else to do it in 2 days, go for it. And I have an advantage. I know they can't find anybody to do it in 2 days or as cheap. They want to bring it here and they want to have the 2-day advantage. They want to have it cheap, and they want to be able to walk all over you. I mean, telling me that he's going to bring me used blades so I can put on there, no, I'm not doing it. Take your machine back. If that's what you want, take your machine back. I'm not doing it. Not putting used blades on it and then putting my name on it. As soon as it breaks, you're going to say, well, he said we could put used blades on it. We put used blades on it and they broke. They don't cut, you know, all that, whatever. So no, you know, a lot of people will say customer's always right. But I have found that in mechanics, customer isn't always right. 90% of the time, they're never right. They're not even close to being right. Just needs a spark plug. That's it. Just change the spark plug. Okay, but your entire cylinder is ate up. Why would I want to even spend the time on it? You ran it without gas. Oh no, it's just a spark plug. Then come pick up your machine, because I don't know how to fix this with just a spark plug. It needs an entire engine. Oh, that one guy cussed me out. Calls me up and says, yeah, it's blowing black smoke. It's going to be this or this or this or this. Well, then you fix it. Why are you telling me? I know how to diagnose a machine. I've got it figured out. I've done it a couple times. Just, you know, kind of thinking about it. Or loading up the truck. You know, they want to tell you how to load up the truck. They've never seen my setup. Don't know how the winch works, but they want to tell me how to do it. Well, okay, well, I'm not going to do it that way, so I'll just take off. And I've taken off before. Guy walks out, those ramps are awful steep. Okay, well, if you don't want me to take it, I won't. And I put the ramps back in the truck, and they're just staring at me like, well, what is he doing? And I got in the truck and I left. What I find interesting is these people that cuss me, and then I say, okay, I don't want your business for cussing me. And of course, this guy in the troll, you know, in the comment section probably would say that I'm just supposed to tolerate getting cussed at. What you don't understand is if I allow them to cuss at me, it's only going to get worse. They're going to, you know, tomorrow call, was it done yet? Well, I have some expectations. And then they give you bad reviews. And I don't know, you know, I don't really know about reviews too much. You get on Amazon, and I look at it as if they have between 5-star and 4-star, they have, if you calculate those two percentages, let's say they got 75%, and then they got a 5-star, 75% 5-star, and they've got a 10% 4-star. Well, I add those two together, and I call that 85%. And I think, okay, if it's above 80, it's a good product. Some people say, though, that if you get one bad review, it erases like 100 of them. And I don't agree with that. I don't know what people really look at when it comes to reviews. If you got 100 good reviews and one bad review that said, well, you know, he wouldn't do what I told him. He wouldn't change out the carburetor like I told him. Or he's grumpy. I don't know if people are really going to care. And that's another thing. I don't know. I remember one time I went into a gun store and I was explaining what I wanted to buy and for the reasoning, and he got kind of sarcastic with me. And it really ticked me off. I mean, pretty bad. But I still went to the gun store regularly. Went there all the time. I just tried to avoid him. So, it was a good gun store with an owner that was kind of grumpy. You know, the hardware store. Boy, everybody says they're so friendly. I don't see them being friendly. Not even a little bit. They don't smile. They don't talk a lot. Sometimes they can get kind of sarcastic. But I go back because they're the only hardware store within 40 miles of here. So, you know, like, well, I can suffer through them not talking and having a good time with, you know, having a conversation. They're busy. Maybe they're a little sarcastic sometimes. But I'm going to go back. So I kind of think that's the same way with the mechanic. Well, he fixes the lawnmowers pretty good. He's not very friendly, but I don't have to sit around talking to him. I can just drop it off, fill out the tag, and leave. And when he calls, I can say, okay, and go and pick it up. So, there again, I don't see me being grumpy. Me telling the guy, well, if you're going to keep bothering me all day with text messages, come get your mower. You know, or otherwise, just let me work on it. You know, it's your choice. And what did he do? Oh, no, just go ahead and work on it. You're fine. And then he clarified what his problem was. His problem was he wasn't going to be here today. He's going to be gone for the weekend. Okay, I'll see you Monday. No big deal. If he would have just said, hey, I won't be here this weekend, is that okay? Yeah, that would have been, I would have said sure. And then we could have been done with the, you know, the 4-hour conversation through text messages. So, I don't know. I know that I don't get along with people. That's why I live here. And as far as the hobby business is concerned, you know, if it trickles in and I make some money each year, great. I'm not losing money. You know, I have an expectation of how much money I would like to make. So between the 2 channels and the lawnmower repair business, I can make it. We do all right. So, I guess that's all that really matters. You know, all my life I wanted to be rich. I ran a business, a consulting business. And I didn't get rich through that, so I'm certainly not going to get rich in this little town repairing lawnmowers. So if you'll click this up next box, it'll take you to a video over to my other channel. I really appreciate it. Go check it out. So I hope this video inspires you. I don't know, to stop letting people walk on you so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.